In the previous module, you learned about ways to develop a research topic and research questions and hypotheses. These ideas will form the foundation of your research, but your research is only beginning. In order to more fully develop your research topic and research questions or hypothesis, you must also do some preliminary research on your topic. Preliminary research helps you scratch below the surface of your topic. The purpose of conducting preliminary research is to help you grasp the scope of your research and clarify your questions. Start your preliminary research by opening an internet browser and search engine. Do a quick search on your topic and see what information comes up. The point of preliminary research isn't to find specific data or use the information you find as part of your thesis, but instead, reading some general information about your topic will help you refine your questions and define your scope. This information should inform you about what has been studied about your topic, what is known about it, and your job is to think critically about this information to understand what remains unknown or unclear about your topic. Websites like online encyclopedias, news articles, general public research reports, and even Wikipedia can be part of your preliminary research. These are sources that will guide your inquiry, but are not always considered scholarly or academic. They should not be included as sources in your thesis, so be critical. Use these sources to improve and refine your ideas and research scope, while also helping you to find credible, reliable, and scholarly sources that will be useful for your literature research. This information will be instrumental in writing your thesis proposal. A thesis proposal explains to yourself and your supervisor exactly what your research topic is, what your research questions or hypotheses are, and what your research aims to achieve. Your proposal should clearly identify a topic of significant research concern, create an organized plan for obtaining or collecting data to help solve the research question, and demonstrate which data analysis methods will be appropriate to treat your data. Think about a research proposal as an official research plan. Your research proposal should be as complete and robust as possible and completed well before you begin any lab or field work. By taking the time to do some preliminary research on your topic, to develop your research questions, build a hypothesis, and gather a body of research literature, you must also consider what research methods you will use. Take your time to conduct preliminary research on data collection and analysis methods that you think will be useful for you. While you are conducting preliminary research, be sure to write down and organize your thoughts into an outline for your thesis proposal. A thesis proposal must be well structured to give you and your supervisor a clear idea of exactly what you intend to research, why you intend to research it, and how you plan to conduct your research. Not every thesis proposal will look the same, but all great proposals include a strong structure that moves the reader from general information to specifically what you will do in your research. In a sense, a research proposal will funnel the reader from broad, general ideas down to a narrow, specifically defined scope that is your precise research topic. To give you a better sense of what a thesis proposal should include, let's examine its structure. Your thesis proposal should have a title page. This title will be tentative, a preliminary title that may change, but it should indicate what your topic is, and the title page should also include your name, department, and the name of the university. The next part is the introduction. Here you will provide a brief overview of the topic that gives the reader some general background information on your topic. An introduction must also include the importance of your study, or the big why question. Why is this topic even important? You can more fully develop the importance of your study by including a problem statement. This statement will identify that there is a problem that needs to be solved, a puzzle that needs to be pieced together, or a gap in our knowledge. A problem statement is followed by the purpose of the study. The purpose further explains your problem statement and defines what you hope to achieve in your research. Your purpose should also include your research questions and research objectives. You may or may not require a theoretical framework. The theoretical framework introduces and describes any theories that help explain why your research problem exists. Most commonly, a theoretical framework demonstrates your understanding of concepts and their definitions related to relevant theories that you intend to use in your study. Speak with your supervisor to determine if your research requires a theoretical framework or not. All thesis proposals should include a literature review. This section will be a succinct yet sufficient review of relevant research and literature in order to demonstrate your understanding of the topic. Now, this section is more than just an information dump. Be sure to explain the connections between and core ideas from the scholarly literature that you have reviewed. You must demonstrate your understanding and not your ability to simply copy and paste text from other sources and put them into your proposal. Stay critical and ask yourself questions like, why is this important for my research? And why must the reader know this information to understand my research? Much of this information should have been gathered through your preliminary research. Next, you must explain your research design. This section will vary, but it may include some of the following: a description of the study area, a description of your data sampling, collection, and analysis methods, criteria for judging the credibility, validity, and trustworthiness of your methods and the results achieved from them, important variables that you will study, other procedures that you expect to undertake, a timeline and schedule for all of your research activities, including writing your thesis, and ethical concerns related to your research and how you plan to address any problems that may arise. If you are conducting field-based research or will require specific instruments for your research, you should also include a budget. This will include any expected travel, visa and accommodation costs, costs of additional equipment, and/or costs associated with having samples sent to a third party for analysis. The last section of your proposal will be your references or bibliography of any material you cited in your proposal. This section should be done to the standards of the referencing style you use, most likely either APA, Chicago, or NMBU Harvard APA. Proper citation and referencing is important to avoid plagiarism. If you have any questions about proper citation and referencing, visit the NMBU libraries or the Writing Center. Through the thesis proposal process, you should ask yourself a few questions and try to answer them as you move through the proposal. How will I get access to data, necessary equipment, or to physical locations to collect data? How many samples or cases will I need for my research? How will I select samples or cases? Which methods will I use to collect samples or cases? If I am conducting an experiment, how will I design the experiment, and what are the associated costs to build the experiment? Am I conducting fieldwork outside of Norway? If I conduct research outside of Norway, will I require an entrance visa or a specific research visa? And how long will it take me to get that? What will a visa cost? What laws must I learn and obey if I conduct research outside of Norway? Do I want to bring samples from another country into Norway? If so, what must I do to legally bring those samples back into Norway? How much will it cost to bring samples back to Norway? Are there any legal or ethical issues with my research? And if so, what must I do to ensure that I do not break any laws? For any specific questions you may have, be sure to speak with your supervisor or study advisor from your department, as policies and regulations may differ across NMBU departments. Your thesis proposal should provide you and your supervisor with a clear plan for your research. The more time you spend thinking about your research and developing a strong proposal, the better your thesis research will be.